Council of the Philippines.
Mr. Chair, does
yeah.
the resource person agree with the idea of the formation of a Digital Council of the Philippines? At first glance?
Mr. Chair, I not only agree, I think it is imperative that this has to be formed at the soonest possible time, because we all can see how the lack of framework where we can at least control the proliferation of misinformation, and it seems that our existing laws and systems are not enough to do that. So this kind of council is really needed yesterday. So we definitely espouse this, Mr. Chair.
In your view, Mr. Chair, how can we strike a balance between using AI to combat fake news and also the idea of the Digital Council of the Philippines and safeguarding rights such as the freedom of expression and privacy? Do you think these are two reconcilable concepts?
Yes, because in our history, we already have self-regulatory organizations that are doing that. As you have mentioned, Mr. Chair, the KBP and former ad board, which is now the ASC, and also, I mean, I would go to the extent of even our Philippine Stock Exchange is actually a self-regulatory organization. So definitely, first, it has to be voluntary. Second, there has to be a trust mechanism, meaning if you comply with the criteria that is being set upon you, then you have some sort of, Better Business Bureau brand, no? And then there has to be an element of complaint reporting, reportorial system, wherein for those who do not voluntarily register and they actually violate some of these criteria, there is a mechanism for the damaged public or damaged parties to be able to complain. And if the members themselves who are having themselves part of the council, there is also a mechanism for complaint. No?
Mr. Chair, actually one of the objectives of this Digital Council of the Philippines is to report fake news to the major social media platforms. So the final action would be taken actually by the social media platforms, and that would include also those who may not want to join the Digital Council of the Philippines if they are reported to have generated fake news. So I think that purpose is also met by the creation of this council. May I proceed, Mr. Chair, to the next resource person who is from the CICP, or the Creators and Influencers Council of the Philippines, who, by the way, are going to hold their general meeting and their induction of officers this afternoon. Ms. Aye Ubaldo. Mr. Chair, may I proceed? Yes, okay. So now I would like to find out how many members does the CICP have?
Right now, we would have about 100. Of course, the goal is to have more.
Yes. How do you encourage content creators to join your ranks?
Okay. I'd like to also say that we categorize them. So if you're a content creator, which is a very, very vast...
Could you come closer to the mic? Thank you. Or pull
I'm
the mic
also very
closer.
short. So,
Sorry.
So we categorize them. So we have them as independents. We have them as brands. What we call clients. These are let's say the Nestle's, the Colgate-Palmolives. So they're called brands. And then we have agencies. So these are the advertising agencies that have departments, or they have sections that are for public relations, influencers, and
Okay.
creators.
Ms. Ubaldo, may I find out what was the reason why you formed the CICP?
Because we knew that it was going to be a growing industry, and there were already a lot of signs. As much as back in, let's say, the late 90s or early 2000s, we knew that the internet was really going to be big, and so when you do look at digital trends, you get to realize what are the next big thing, and we in the digital industry, or speaking as myself, as I come from a marketing communications background, so that's kind of what we need to do.
Yes. Is responsible And is the responsible practice of content creation among your objectives in this group?
Specifically for CICP, definitely, but specifically for the industry that we're in, which is the marketing communications industry. For 50 years, we've been under self-regulation. Okay, and that's very sustainable. It's very agile. It's really needed to be.
Mr. Chair, do you have a code of conduct or code of ethics that you practice? Yes.
We have a mission and vision, um, and even the industry itself, yes.
And what do you do to members who do not comply with your code of conduct, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. As you've also mentioned, and as Anton has also mentioned, even if you are not part of the industry, let's say you're not a member, you are actually responsible to know what's going on and be able to be sanctioned and accept penalties. So it's just like the law. Even if you are ignorant of the law, you are committing a crime that you don't know. So I think that industries like ours and the proposed digital council being self-regulating can also impose upon those that are not members.
So may I know your opinion about the formation of a digital council of the Philippines?
Well, definitely, I believe that it's a good idea. If you don't mind, Mr. Chair, if I can say something. I was really listening. This is the first time that I'm here in this kind of forum, and I was really listening to the previous speakers. And if I may say so, I find that there's really a lot of silos, a lot of people wanting to do the same thing. And, the gentleman from the PCO said that there has to be collaboration with the justice system and the PCO. And then I heard another resource speaker from Davao, Mr. Mata, say something that there's a need to collaborate with the KBP. And the KBP is one of the founders of the Ad Standards Council, of the regulating body, actually. So, yes, I believe that creating a digital council can really tide us through all of these silos.
Yes, thank you very much for your opinion. I would also like to reiterate that ideally this Digital Council of the Philippines will be apolitical, impartial, which is one of the fears expressed by one of our resource persons. And I believe that it is possible because I believe also that there is strength in unity. This body could also be likened to a guild among content creators that will provide legal assistance, legal protection, and also guidance to its members. That said, Mr. Chair, I would just like to sum up by saying that today has been a very big learning experience to us. And I would like to exhort, after having listened to Ms. Kiambao and Ms. Casieta Retachu, and their self-realization that, we cannot just publish or write something on social media, especially knowing that we have a big following, without verifying first the facts. We cannot spread rumors nor speculations that potentially have dire consequences. And we're talking about national security or the stability of a government. Unless, of course, that is the reason why some people, some vloggers actually practice this, which is to destabilize, which is also to mislead people, to shape public opinion, and put it at the service of political interest. Now, that for me would be a betrayal of, if you are a journalist, you're calling to uphold the truth. Because in a sense, we are manipulating other people, and simply, that cannot be tolerated for the good of our country. I believe that if you have the truth on your side, there is nothing to fear. And whether you're on the side of the government or the opposition, of course, I have always believed, and it is freely practiced during this administration, Your voices now are being allowed and heard under the Marcos administration. Take a look back. During the previous administration, could you hear critical voices? Could you hear voices of dissent? The ones who were brave enough to express their voices of dissent were imprisoned 7 years without a firm conviction, without due process. So having these democratic freedoms guaranteed by the present administration, maybe it is also an invitation and a calling that lubos-lubusin na natin ang pagiging demokratiko. Lubos-lubusin na rin natin ang pagiging makatotohanan. If you are to criticize this government, please do it with facts on your hands. Hindi lang yung speculations, hindi lang yung rumors. Kasi that's being unfair, Mr. Chair. So with that, I submit to the committee also my proposal once more about the creation of the Digital Council of the Philippines. I sent a briefer to Secretary Ruiz, and this afternoon actually I'll be joining you at the CICP to encourage the stakeholders to take the initiative and form a Digital Council of the Philippines, and then we can work on the rules. But one thing I can guarantee, as a journalist myself, I understand where you're coming from, and I do respect that constitutional right to freedom of expression. But as a lawmaker, I'm fully aware that the state has a duty to regulate the exercise of this constitutional freedom by applying the least restrictive means. So, yun lang po, Mr. Chair, at nagpapasalamat ako sa oras na
Thank you,
binigay niyo
Mr.
sa
Chair.
akin.
Thank you, Representative Roman. Next interpolator will be Deputy Speaker. You have something to say? Please state your name.
Sir, my name is Crisette Chu, and thank you very much for allowing me to say what I want to say. This is just in relation to what Congresswoman Geraldine Roman said, that MG and I were, we had issues about about the mistakes that we said. Sir, right now, as I'm scrolling through Facebook, I just want to say that I'm also a victim of fake news. Because it's on Facebook and on GMA that it says na I said sorry for saying mass resignation. I did not say mass resignation, sir. I said may mga nag-resign daw. The mass resignation was not on my end. So in the interest of everyone's protection, not just for social media, even for us, kasi we're also citizens of the Philippines. Can you also correct? I never said mass resignation, but in your news it said that I admitted, I'm crying because I'm admitting na nagkamali ako sa mass resignation. I never said that, and my post is still up. So could you kindly also correct your news, Jimmy? Thank you, sir, for allowing me to say I really appreciate
That
this.
is noted, but that is not our responsibility. That would be the responsibility who made the news. Anyway, please, okay na.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, you are recognized. No, she was the first one. Itong, yeah.
Ms. Crisette Chu, sir, thank you very
No,
much, sir.
this, yeah, you. State your name, please.
Celias, I'm president of Verifiles. It's a non-profit media organization. We do a lot of fact-checking. Yeah. So, okay.
Pakilapit lang po yung mic kasi may problema
Yeah,
sa audio.
Verifiles is signatory to the International Fact-Checking Network. It's an organization of more than 200 fact-checkers all over the world, and it's to be a signatory of IFCN. It's like having a good housekeeping seal, you know. So we are also two of the third-party fact-checkers of Meta Facebook in the Philippines. You know. Habang pinapakinggan ko kanina yung interpellation sa mga vloggers, as a general rule kasi as a fact-checker, we don't fact-check opinions kasi in adherence to the freedom of expression, no? But, however, you know, opinions should be based on facts. Verified facts. And where do you get verified facts? One, primary statements, no? Hindi mo pwedeng kunin na kasi daw nasa news lang eh, ganon. It should come from primary statements. Ano yung primary statements? Speeches, official statements, ng mga organizations, mga spokesmen, ganon. Tapos, yan, documents, ganon. So, but, so although we do not fact-check opinions, we fact-check the basis of the opinions, which should be facts. You know, so, because, di ba, you are entitled to your, to paraphrase an American senator, you are entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your facts. Yun. So, ang isa pang sabihin ko is, I think I agree with I like the idea of a registry of content creators. Kasi, I think as a start, we can, maybe the mechanics can be tested out later, but as a start, it's good to have that body to more or less oversee the 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 vloggers kasi sa ngayon kasi parang it's a wild west yung yung social media. Tapos ang isa rin siguro na dapat yan nga na-mention I think ni Representative Roman yung code of conduct. So maybe that can be included in the registry of content creators. So, yun lang po yung maano.
Okay, thank you. There was another resource person who raised his or right hand. Please identify yourself.
MJ Kiambao po. MJ Kiambao Reyes. Siguro po sa next hearing, pwede rin pong patawag yung nagsulat nitong fake news about us in the spirit of fairness. And I would also like to, yun pong pag-iyak ko at yung walang patid na pag-apologize ko is coming from the fact na dahil ayoko pong makontempt, ayoko pong ma-detain dahil may dalawa po akong nasa critical condition na nanay at mother-in-law. Yun po yun. Pero sa mainstream media at social media ngayon, pinagtatawanan ako dahil nag-apologize ako at tinawag akong tanga. But I cannot forgive myself if I don't speak now and tell you the truth. I'm just really afraid na ma-detain at this time. At this time kasi may dalawa akong nasa critical condition na naka-bedridden na nanay at mother-in-law na nasa late stage na anytime they die. I don't want to be detained and wala ako sa tingin. Ayun lang po, Mr. Chair.
Ms. MJ, at this point in time, this committee has no plans of detaining you. Was there a motion? There was no motion. So we will proceed with the next interpellation.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to point out that although I understand, well, I'm trying to understand where the concerns of our good resource person is coming from, but I think it's baseless. Wala pa namang motion, wala pa namang nagsasabi na iko-contempt ka, wala pa namang, for as long as you cooperate, and for as long as you say the truth, and for as long as you're completely honest, there's nothing to be fearful. Not unless, of course, you're hiding the truth. So, dun, pwede kang matakot. Kaso lang kung wala naman po kayong itinatago at buong katotohanan ng sinasabi ninyo, di wala po dapat kayong ikabahala. At saka wala po dapat kayong dahilan para umiyak. Siguro maganda po, ma'am, uminom po kayo ng tubig at baka ma-dehydrate po kayo. So anyway, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I just have some concern. Am I... Okay, yeah. Mr. Chairman, meron po ba tayong representative from BIR?
Yes, earlier he took his oath. Yeah, BIR.
Thank you very much. BIR, for the platforms of ByteDance, TikTok, Meta, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, do they contribute to the national treasury?
Your Honor, good afternoon. For the mentioned companies, Your Honor, considering that they are a non-resident foreign corporations, Your Honor, they should be taxed on their income within the Philippines, Your Honor.
So, but are they actually paying, contributing?
Your Honor, may we be allowed to confirm that with our operations group, Your Honor, and submit to this committee whether or not.
Yeah,
Thank you,
kasi
Your
gusto ko lang po malaman kung may contribution po o may binabayad pong buwis ang Facebook, ang TikTok, ang Twitter, at ang sa iba pang mga social media platforms, because as we all know, other than the news and other than the opinions that they share, marami din pong mga selling at trading na nangyayari within